Jackson and cue ball. Got a Jackson on the shelf today for today's adventure. Well, pieces of one. I think this is a DK2 body, and I'm not sure what the neck's off of. It's got the wrong inlay for it to be the right neck for a DK2. But I know the guy put this guitar together from parts that he had gathered up. The complaint is fret buzz, lots of fret buzz, and I can see why. The strings are, man, they're laying on the fretboard practically. There's no action to speak of. It's very low. And he tunes, this guitar he's going to tune down in a low C. I think that's what he told me. I need to go get a tuner, by the way. Fret buzz. This is a 24 fret scale. It's a longer scale than normal. And I'm not sure what all we're going to get into on this. Probably going to have to adjust everything on this saddle, these saddles. I don't know about the electronics, haven't checked anything. I assume they work because he played it that way until it became unplayable. But we'll get into all that, get it tore off. I'm going to take the strings off and start checking these frets for high frets first. The frets look pretty good. There is somewhere just a tiny bit, if you can see that, right there. I don't know if you can see it or not on the camera. A little bit up here maybe. But just, you know, very little bit of fret wear. I don't think there's enough fret wear there to worry about. But I may have to level those frets and dress them and stuff just to be assured they are all level and flat. Recrown them, of course, and all that. Floyd Rose looks like, or a model of it, some model of it. Anyways, let me get the camera on the stand. Boy, that you could clone a human being from the DNA on that fretboard. Good Lord, man, I don't know if you can see that, but it's bad. Only has one pickup in it. Well, let me get the camera on the tripod here and let's get the strings off of it and straighten the neck, and we'll start checking things out. Hold on. So a few things I'll mention up front. I checked a few things. I checked the action. I checked the nut action. The nut action is the distance from the bottom of the string to the top of the first fret. And I always note the third fret and take that reading. And I checked it on this. I don't remember what the high E string was, but the low E string was 5 thousandths. That's the clearance between the first fret and the low E string. Way too low nut action. So we're going to definitely have to raise that nut action up. I might as well go ahead and take these off. They're already loose. And I sort of have an idea. This video, if I film everything, or most of the things, it's going to be kind of long. And, you know, I don't know, a lot of people complain about some of my videos being too long. But, anyway, I wanted to mention that nut action needs to be corrected real soon before we can do much else. And the relief, there is no relief. The neck is pretty much flat, straight. This is at the 17th fret. So, oh man. Well, let me go get a key winder and get these strings off of here, and we'll dissect this baby. Hold on. So I got the strings off of it. I went ahead and adjusted the truss and got the neck perfectly flat as it's going to get. And I slid a straight edge down through here, and just like an acoustic guitar, that straight edge should just ride right over top of each saddle, and it does not. Now I can raise and lower these saddles, or I can take the neck off, put some shims between it and the body, and lift the entire neck and change the angle just a little bit, sort of like doing a neck reset on an acoustic. I want to see how much that will drop there, but I also need to check this nut out, because like I say, it doesn't have any nut action. There's none to speak of there, so we're going to have to do something. Probably going to have to shim this as well, or maybe there's shims under there already. I don't know. We're going to find out like right now. Oh, interesting. There's a piece of a shim under there. Check that out. That under the high E side strings. So, someone shimmed that before. Interesting. Very interesting. Wonder why that's such a tiny piece of shim. Anyway, that's got to be shimmed, and it's got to have roughly about 10 thousandths to 12 thousandths added to it. I'd like to see this action, the nut action at the first fret, probably around 12 to 15 thousandths. Maybe not that much, because he's going to... What we're doing is putting really heavy strings on it. Here's what they are. They're GHS guitar boomers, and they're 10 to 60. That's a pretty hefty bass string. But like I say, he tunes this guitar down in low C and all those funky tunings they play in these days. So it's all going to work out and be alright. First thing I'm going to do is find a metal shim and cut and put underneath this nut and bolt it back, screw it back on. And then I'm going to have to put a string back on it or two and see if I'm going to have to lower this saddles, or, like I said earlier, shim the neck and raise the neck up from the body, just, you know, enough to where a straight edge will come back here and ride over each saddle. It's so close, man. It's so close right now. Probably can just adjust back here for that. I don't know. We'll find out. So hang on. Let me gather my thoughts, and it's a small gathering. It won't take long. So I've had this apart. I've been cleaning it out. Took all of the saddles out, cleaned each one. Just putting all this back together. I think I can get by here without having to take the neck completely off of it. At least we are hoping so. That may not be the case, but that's what we're going to shoot for anyways. Get all that dust cleaned out of it, man. There's a bunch of dust down in there. These screws I'm tightening up now, putting back in, are to set your intonation. So we're going to be in here again, I'm sure. In fact, I should just leave these loose. Alright. Hopefully we can get by. with, God, this guitar's dirty. Hopefully we can get by with getting hopefully we can get by with getting our fingerboard flat with each saddle without having to take the neck off and reset the angle and all that. But I don't know, we may have to do that yet. I still got to cut a shim for that, and I need to go do that right now. Shit, hang on. So I cut out a piece of metal the exact same size as the nut, shimmed the nut, put it underneath there. It was about, I don't know, around 10 thousandths, 11 thousandths inch thick, and I put one string back on, and just roughly we have about 12 thousandths nut action right now, which is, you know, could be good, could be bad. You really need all the strings on it and get it up to pitch and the relief set and everything, you know, to fine tune that and get it exactly. I may have to put a thinner piece in there. I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute. I need to get the arch of this fingerboard so I can set the arch back here on the bridges, saddles actually. I have here, I took some measurements off of another Jackson guitar he's got, Randy Rhodes model. The relief at the 9th fret on it is at 12 thou. The nut action on the low E was 15 thousand, on the high E was 12 thousandths, and the action at the 12th fret was 5/64 on the bass side and 4/64 on the treble side. This is on his other Jackson. Now he wants this guitar set up as close as we can get to these settings. So we're going to kind of try to live by those numbers as we do this. Cue Ball's here with me. You hear noises in the background. That's her doing her thing over there. Whatever that might be. Let's see. So I'm going to clean that fingerboard up first. It's pretty nasty. I think you already saw that. Get all the D and A cleaned off of there. And may even have to do some fret work. I'm going to check for high frets. In fact, I'll do that first. I'm not sure what we're going to get into with this. Hopefully, won't have to do much. There's a high fret. You hear that? It's not high in the center, it's high on the E, high E side and low E side, but it's not high in the center. That's the 4th fret. Maybe if that's the only, shit, there's another one. Several high frets. So you know what that means. We got to level the frets. There's another high fret. Wow. Well, that certainly sucks. So now we got to dress the frets on it. I knew this was going to be a monster. I just knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Well, let me get set up for that. Hold on. So we've got a whole bunch of high frets. I'm just going to explain to you what's going on. I won't bore you to death with this whole procedure. But I got a blue marker here. I'm marking all the frets blue. I don't know if the camera will get this or not, but like I say, I'm not going to bore you to death with this. I'm just going to explain to you what's happening. Hope everybody had happy holidays and a nice Christmas and a happy new year. I was hoping for a Santa Cruz guitar for Christmas, but I guess I was a bad boy. I didn't get one. See a lot of guys tape every fret off, man. Tape every single fret. I do that on some jobs. It just depends on what I'm doing, but usually I'm confident enough that I'm not going to screw up too much. The tape's not going to save me. Okay, so the frets are all blue. I don't know if you can see that or not. What's going to happen is, let me find, I'm going to take, oh, I need a finer file than that. This is a diamond grit file. You can eat frets alive with these. Well, what's going to happen is I'm going to get the finer one out and just run it down these frets. I'll mask it off down here so nothing gets around the pickups, and run this up and down here until all the blue is gone. I can see what's being see what's being touched and what's not getting touched that way. And you don't want to put very much pressure on this, because you can get like a backward, you press so hard you can get a backward bow in the neck and your frets won't be flat. I'm actually going to go ahead with this and then switch to a finer one as I get it down where I want it. Like I say, you can eat frets up with this. You want to be very careful. Try to keep a nice, smooth, even movement. In fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get the camera and show you what I'm doing here. Hold on. Look who's by my side. And you know, as well as you are sitting here watching this movie, what's going to happen. It's got to happen. Anyway, back to the frets. I hope the camera will get this. You can see where the blue has been removed. That's where I just run the sanding block down over it. I hope you can see that in the camera. There's still some blue on the ends of them. That's because of the arch in the fingerboard. When I get done, those frets are going to be flat, and I'm going to have to put the arch back in them and crown them and a whole bunch of stuff, polish them. And anyways, I just wanted to show you that. There's some frets that were hardly even touched at all. But we want to get all of the blue gone evenly. And then we'll put the arch back in them and start crowning and polishing. So hang on for that. So this is just a sanding stick. You can get them at Stu Mac if you want to pay an arm and leg and a left nut for it. But it does a pretty good job if you can find the different grits of belt sandpaper for it. we want these frets to feel like a piece of glass when the player picks it up and bends a string. You want that to just slide across that fret with no friction whatsoever. None at all. Boy, this thing should feel good to play when this job's done. Once we get the arch on the bridge saddle set up right, I think it's going to be really nice. These frets are looking fantastic. Doesn't take a whole lot of this on each fret. It's just time consuming. You gotta, like I say, you gotta keep going up in the grits to a finer and finer grit. Then I'm going to polish them with, I've got some chrome polish I like to put on them, especially on electric guitars, because those electric guitar players tend to bend strings more than acoustic players do. You don't want that gritty feeling when you bend a string. It sends cold chills up your spine. I don't know anyone that likes that. So there again, I've had too many complaints about my videos being too long. Imagine that. Some of them too long. And I've had, you know, some people like them long. I don't know. Just see how long it is. Linseed oil. Letting it soak a few minutes. Wiped it down once. I'm going to apply another coat. Man, that fretboard's dry. It sucked it all up. So this is going to clean all that crap off the fretboard. Then I want to put some semi-chrome polish on these frets, and then I want to show them to you. I'll give you a better shot of it anyways. Looking good. I used to use it on my banjos all the time, but it works good on frets too. You just apply a tiny bit of it to a cloth or paper towel. I guess a paper towel probably would work. Actually, that's way more than I wanted, but it's okay. You don't have to scrub very much with this stuff. I mean, it gets right to the point. Rub it on, rub it off. It's like a paste, and it will, well, you can see how black the rag is turning. Yeah, I might, no. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just hold on. You want to see this. You will want to see this. Check that out. I'm going to show you this before that stuff dries. But look what's coming off of the frets. That's just where I've been rubbing all these frets. What, 4 frets or so there. You can see what it takes off. But where do you see how the frets look? Man, they are like glass. Glass is probably not as slick as this. Oh yes. And yes, I've been sick again. I've never actually got better. I've had this sinus thing going on, man, for God, seems like forever. Still fighting it. And we all been battling colds, head colds, chest colds. I don't know what's up with all that. Kids bringing home from school. The grandkids do. And then we pass it around until everybody has it. It's a good dose of it. In this area was like 5 frets that the glue never came off of when I was flattening them out. Well, if you can see them, they are shiny. I'm real happy with that, I think. I'm real happy with that. Okay, so let me see if I can. It's almost so much glare from the shine. It's hard to see it from what I'm seeing here. Anyways, they look brand new. They are gorgeous. In fact, so what to do? What's next? We got to put strings on, I think. I'm going to take that back cavity off and look in there too, because this thing's not exactly right. It works, but it's just, I don't know, you can't pull it up. You should be able to pull that up in the opposite direction, push it down or pull it up. It just feels funky to me. I don't know what's up with that. Well, we're going to check it out. I'm going to flip it over and take the back cavity off of it. And see what's going to happen. We're almost ready for strings here. Not quite yet, but then we got to set the neck relief. I seen some screws up here. He mentioned it being very hard to keep in tune. Well, here's one reason. Almost every key is very loose. I always go over that stuff, tighten it up, check everything. Wow. I could see why it wouldn't stay in tune. Now we'll fix all that. Hold on. Still more to come. God, well, it's most definite. That screw's almost rounded out. It's most definite why he couldn't keep it in tune. The keys are so loose, man. Wow. The screw heads are not in very good shape. 5 out of 6 keys. Five out of 6 keys loose. And the heads are reamed out pretty bad. They're tightening up though. a little at a time. That's pretty much the story with everything, though. I want to take this back panel off of here in a minute too. Do this right now. I don't know how well you can see. Which way do we need to go? Oh, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Now, if you ever do this, there are bushings in there, by the way. But if you ever tighten these nuts on top of around the pegs, be very careful. Don't over tighten those, because you can chip the finish around the nut. If you get it too tight, then you have another job to do. You just want them snugged up, you know, not tight, but just snug. If you go too tight, you're gonna crack that finish around there. Check that out. The buttons seem tight. I'm not even going to check those. They feel okay. I do, however, want to check inside of here. There's something funky going on with that whammy bar. I just want to see what it is. I just want to see what's going on in there. If I can even see it from under here. I want to check the neck too. Everything else has been loose on this. I want to check these neck screws that hold the neck actually on and in place, just to assure they are tight, because everything on this guitar so far has been very loose. So you can push the whammy bar down. That works. But you can't pull it up. And the reason being, if you see these prongs back here, there's one for each string. One coming off of each string. There's 6 of them. It's easily, you can see right there, man. They're bottoming out, again, the body. When you pull that whammy bar out, away from the guitar, these need room to come in, like that. And they're bottomed out. I mean, they're again the body right now. The only way you could fix that is take all of this stuff out, take the whole system out, which would be very easy to do, and route that out back in there, or at least use a router and route the where those bars from each string are coming back. That's what's ailing it. I don't know if you'll want to do that or not. I probably wouldn't do it if it was mine. Well, yeah, I don't know. Probably would. I can't see for crap the way I'm looking at the camera. I don't know if it's getting it or not. These prongs right here are hitting this area. You can see the indentation marks. So that doesn't allow you to pull the whammy up. It's bottoming out right there. And it's not the right whammy for this body. There's ways around that. Like I say, you could route all this out back here with a router, or cut it out. It's pretty thick. But by doing that, would give that thing enough room to move. I just talked to the owner. He doesn't care if I fix that or not, so I'm not going to, because it's still got a lot of work to do. So let's try to get that thing back in there. I need a drop of oil for this. Where's the oil? Now, we're going to have to set the string action here after we string it up. Then we're going to set the neck relief. And just a whole bunch of good shit to happen yet. Long ways from done. And wonder why my videos are long. Still want to check that neck, make sure those neck screws are tight. And there you have it. Licensed under Floyd Rose, Pat Jackson. Well, you can shove it down, you can't pull it up. But he says leave it that way, so there you go. So, I'm going to flop it around here and check those screws in the back of the neck. Then I'm going to string it up and we'll start setting it up. So, actually, before I do that, probably should put the cover back on it. So yeah, anyways, lots of good guitar lessons coming up. Riffs, things this winter. Just more repair, lots more repair work. I don't know how much of it I'll film, but I'm about to get buried in repair work, and not just guitars. You know, all kinds of stuff coming in. I've been getting so much stuff, I just haven't been filming it all. You know, it's hard to just keep up with, you know what I mean? I have a little trick I want to show you as well. It's probably been done before, but I've never seen anyone do it. I found this thing the other day. I thought, hey, I might be able to use that for repair work. And I'll show you what it is in a few minutes. It's a pretty cool idea, I think. I'm not sure how accurate it would be. I haven't tried it myself, but I'll show you. And you can draw your own conclusions. Check this out. It's a laser leveler, square, I guess depending on what you're using it for. My thoughts are you'd have to be in a rather dark area, but this may very well be a good way to check your frets for being in uniform, flat. You get my drift? I haven't tried this. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but they look good. It's hitting every fret. This is something I'm going to play with in the future. I found this thing a little bit ago, and I thought, hey, I can use that. All kinds of crazy ideas, man. Hold on. Well, folks, it's going to be a part 2 video. I still have to put the strings on and set the neck relief, set the string action, set the intonation, and a whole bunch of stuff yet. So I'm going to make this a 2-part video. It's getting late, and Cue Ball's, well, she's waited on me long enough. I don't think she's going to wait much longer. She's getting impatient. So we got a lot accomplished. Got a lot of stuff accomplished. That guitar needed everything. Anyways, like I say, we got all that other stuff. We put strings on it on the next video, and set the neck relief and the action and all that crap, and intonation I'm sure is all going to be messed up. So we'll do that on part 2. So I want to thank everybody again, all my subscribers and new subscribers and old ones alike. Thank you guys a whole bunch, man. Hang around, tell your friends to come join. You know, there's going to be, especially if they play guitar or just like guitar stuff. There's going to be a lot of guitars, a lot of instrument stuff. I probably won't be playing anything other than guitar, but that's about all I can play, and I can't do that very well. But anyways, thanks. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Come on, get up here and tell them. Give me puppy love and tell them about it. Oh, good girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. Tell them, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Good girl. I love you. Good. Come on, give me puppy love. Say cheers. I love you.
Listen. I love you.